Gaming online as a girl is weird.
Yeah.
On this episode of Just a Bit Gaming Side Quest, we're talking girls and games. Hi, and welcome to Side Quest. I'm your host, Adrian Bertazoid Whoop Townsend, and I have a guest with me today. That's my wife, Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi, hon. It's almost like you forgot my name there for a second.
I like to build the tension or the suspense before I announce the
Is
name.
that what that is?
Yeah,
Oh.
definitely. We have an interesting topic that Amy and I were talking about. We talked about it on and off and on again, different times,
Mhm.
but we were discussing it earlier today in the car, actually. And I thought it would be a really, really fun topic to talk about on the show. So we're going to get into this. To give the proper introduction here, Amy just kind of recently got into online gaming. She used to game.
Got back into it, yeah.
Back into it. She used to play Halo 2 with me back in the day. A lot. And she hasn't really touched anything since then. Until Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
I'd say PUBG, probably.
You never played PUBG.
Well, on my phone. Remember, I was playing PUBG
That's right.
nonstop.
That's right.
That kind of
I'm wrong.
scratched the itch.
So she got a taste of Battle Royale style games with PUBG, actually. PUBG Mobile, I guess, just like you were saying. And so I went and bought Blackout or Black Ops 4 for the Blackout mode because I like the Battle Royales as well. And I started playing it, and I guess it piqued your interest a little bit.
What you didn't know is that you really bought that game for me.
As things ended up, actually, we have two PS4s, and I ended up buying 2 copies of the game so she could play. But explain to me what got you back into that, into gaming, really. What happened when I took that game home? What struck you as interesting about that game when I had it?
Okay, so we talked about it a little bit beforehand, about my past whenever I used to play paintball. And it is literally like reliving getting to play paintball. I like Blackout mode. They've got all the different kinds of modes, and I've played them all, but I prefer Blackout mode because it's literally like big person hide and go seek. You can wait till the kids go to bed or not. In my case,
yes.
You can wait. It doesn't matter. You can just get on and play a game of hide and seek, and you get to shoot people. It's just I can't even like really put my finger on it. Like
you just like being able to play hide and seek with guns.
I do. Well, yeah, and it's piqued my interest. Like one of the people that I met online talked about an airsoft place, and now I want to go play airsoft. Like this is just like piquing all of that. There's something about the chase. There's something about the hide. There's something about when you're one-on-one with someone shooting and you getting like the drop on them and getting them first.
I get it.
There's just that you just get so excited.
It's what is the word? Adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it is like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, so I get it completely. And I think that's why Battle Royale games as a whole is kind of really taken off, is because it really does satisfy that rush of getting the drop on somebody, like you said.
It's a lot of fun. And it's also, for me, it's social. I don't go out much, not for any reason other than home is so nice, but yet I'm still very social.
Yeah.
And I can literally get on in an hour and meet like 12 different people, and it's just fun.
That is funny to me because you are a completely different type of gamer than I am.
Yeah.
I like multiplayer gaming, but I like multiplayer gaming with my friends, with people I already know.
Right.
Amy, on the other hand, likes multiplayer gaming with whoever the hell she gets teamed up with. She will just jump into a match and immediately start talking to people and trying to, form a team or whatever. And she's all about the multiplayer aspect of it.
I feel like I have a certain style the way I play too.
Honestly, I bought another copy of the game so we could play together, but I also bought another copy of the game so she would stop adding so many random people to my friends list. Oh man, I got so many people on there that
That's
just
part of the
constantly
aspect
message
of
me.
being a girl gamer, though.
True. And yeah, that's something that we
Does
are
that
going
ever
to get
happen to
into.
you?
No, but I don't talk to people. So I
True.
thought that's the interesting part. Like if I get online to play a multiplayer game, like I said, I'll play with her friends. Otherwise, if I'm just playing by myself, no mic. I don't wear a headset, I don't wear a mic. I just play.
But it's also, even there's also like this collaborative part that I really like about the game.
Well, and with a battle royale game specifically, you kind of need that teamwork mentality. You have to be able to communicate, otherwise you're going to fail. So I typically just do solos, and I'm fine with that.
Yep.
Or duos, or actually no, I don't. You need to communicate on duos too. Yeah, I just do solo.
Yeah, you do.
Unless
sometimes I ask you to play and you play with me.
Yeah, or I'll play with her occasionally. I don't want to say I lost interest in it, but
you did.
I didn't though. I still enjoy playing the game. There's so many other games that I'd rather be playing. Newer games. Oh man, there's been so many games coming out lately.
That are all single player too.
Single player. I love single player games.
I know you
just
do.
When I'm playing multiplayer games, it's okay. When I'm playing a game, it's because I want to decompress. I want to just kind of like get immersed into this world and just kind of just not think about
Which is actually the same thing for me, but I'm so extroverted, like being around people is what helps me decompress.
Yeah, not me. That is you. We're polar opposites, which makes us attract, I guess.
Yeah.
Opposites
it's
attract.
Like, what is it? Magnets.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I get that. Like you want to get on there, that your way of decompressing, I guess, is socializing.
Yep.
Mine is not. Mine is very introverted. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Let's just play. And I get it. But along with multiplayer gaming as of late, you've like encountered some interesting stories that I feel like would be fun to share. I also want to hear, how is it different now than it was 10, 15 years ago when we were playing Halo 2?
Ooh, that's good. How is it different now? It was getting online and playing was such a new kind of concept back then. And I feel like I met less people when we were gaming in Halo because we always had a team. Like we had our clan.
We did.
I do that in air quotes, clan.
Right.
And you were really only talking amongst ourselves. Like
Right.
sometimes maybe out in the opening, you might be able to hear the other people, but it was kind of sheltered. Like nobody really knew I was this girl gamer. I mean, unless they read my screen name, or my gamer tag.
Well, and you and I played together too, so everybody knew you as
your wife.
We played split screen on one TV. Everybody knew that.
And I think that kind of helped, honestly. I notice a difference when you play with me. Well, and I mean, the people that we play with, like, we've played a lot with, so it's not a big deal. But I guarantee you that if you played with me on quads and it was nobody else and they knew that you were my husband, they would treat me completely differently than I get treated when I play.
That's interesting to hear. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right, actually.
Yeah.
So how do you get treated?
So the way it usually works is I actually always dread the first time I talk. Like I'm always in my head, like, how am I going to do this? What am I going to say? Either somebody goes, "Ooh, Miss Mamie, what's up?" Like it's almost like it's 50-50, or I'm waiting.
More often than not. I know you say 50-50, but do you feel like it happens more often than not?
Not really.
Okay.
But it always happens when I talk.
Yeah.
Two things happen. Either they think I'm an 8-year-old little boy, which isn't too bad because then, they treat me almost the same. Yeah. But when they realize that I'm a girl, there's always it's like they'll be talking normally and then they'll be, "Hey.
All of a sudden,
up? Hey, baby. What's your number?"
The player comes out.
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell is this? So yeah, I always dread just a little bit. And I always say the same thing. Where are we going to drop? Where are we going to drop? Because I mean, if I was like, "Hey guys," or I just seems like so inconspicuous. Like it should just be easy. Like, but I can also gauge how cool the people are going to be based off of how they react when I say that. If it's the "hey," then the whole time, all it is people, it's almost like they're trying to impress you on the
Right.
game. And I'm
Yep.
like,
Yep.
next.
Yep.
But if people play it really cool, then it gets a lot of fun. And then I'm like, oh,
basically, essentially, you're saying if somebody treats you differently, then it's not going to be fun. But if somebody treats you like they would treat anybody else
yeah,
playing the game, then it's fun.
yeah.
Lesson to be learned out there for all
Listen
those
to that.
boys that play these
Yeah.
games.
If you wonder why you're not getting a friend request or, hey, you want to team up with me? It's like, no, I
No.
don't, because I don't want to feel gross the entire time I play. Like, because it is kind of distracting. And I also am pushed to a different kind of role with those types of people.
That's interesting. What role is that?
So if the people, if it's the whole like, hey, baby, what's up? Like, they're trying to impress you, and they're also always taking the lead. And like, I don't get to play. Like, they're always in the way,
So they're kind of feeling or treating you like you're a girl who can't play a game.
Right. Oh, very much so. Yeah. Like, I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm kind of nerdy. Like, I looked at like what guns I liked and what the best way to, I mean, this is before all the updates. They keep changing stuff on me.
Yeah.
But like I really kind of research it because I enjoy it, and they just act like I'm this damsel that needs to be helped, or I'm their mom that they've, trying to show them and like protect, and it's kind of annoying.
It'd be very annoying. Yeah. I would.
There's no room for getting better when it's that way, because they're always like,
in their eyes, you're basically, a dumb girl.
Right.
Who can't play. And that's really a stigma that I feel like is pretty strong in multiplayer gaming right now. Even with more, I guess, would you say you see more and more women gamers or girl gamers playing, or would it be when you play? Like, how often do you encounter other girls?
I really don't encounter them that often. I literally play pretty much every night, at least for a little while. And I would say that it's been a good month since the last time I've seen another girl.
Wow.
Now I've got a couple girls that are on my friends list,
Right.
but it's funny. Once you get your kind of group, you just kind of stick with that group.
No, that's not funny. That's how it is. The
yeah.
clan, our Halo clan, happened the same way. I was on playing with a friend of mine, or few friends of mine, and we encountered some people who were cool, and we teamed up, ended up playing more and more games with them. And
I actually still to this day wonder about them sometimes. Like, I'll see very rarely their screen name come up on.
Yeah. All of them have grown up and had kids.
And you know it's their kids. You know it's not them on.
Yeah.
You know it's their kids.
Yeah, exactly.
So it'd be weird me being like, hey, Lotta, how are you?
So how does it make you feel when you're treated like that?
It kind of sucks, but it's just how I've always been treated in games. So it sounds kind of weird. I get really excited when I get to be treated like anybody else. I feel like we collaborate and we work as a team really well. That's so exciting because it's a lot of fun. But when it's the games where I'm just the chick, it's like background noise. It happens so much that you
got this guy who assumes he needs to take the lead and show this girl around and make sure she knows what she's doing, and but I remember, one of your biggest complaints is you hate playing with guys who are bossy, I guess.
Really bossy. And I mean, there can be people who are leaders and I mean, again, the people that I play with, I don't mean that you can't joke with me. I don't mean that you can't give me shit. I'm just saying, it's fun when it's funny whenever it's a joke, but when they're really acting that way, it's just so annoying.
Yeah.
So, people who, people would yell at me, get him, when he's like already been the person who's dead. I'm like, I've gotten farther in this, and it's distracting, and it's really flustered. It does get me flustered, and I'm trying really hard to, I don't know, represent girls in a good way.
How old do you feel like most of the people you encounter are? What's the average age?
It depends on what time I play.
Okay.
So if I am playing during the day, then it's a lot more kids. Like, I'd say teenagers, kids who are home from school sick or
Yeah,
something.
right.
There's also a lot of people who, I don't know. It's just mostly kids. So I don't really play during the day much anymore just because, no offense, I like playing with people at least in their 20s because I don't want to have to censor myself, as bad as that sounds. Like,
But do you find I would feel like playing with the kids would be a little bit more annoying though. I feel like they would be treating you poorly even more so than some
I
of the
find
adults.
that the kids like treat me, actually, I've never had a kid treat me
Really?
any
Okay. I find
differently.
that interesting because
I'm just another player because everybody else, like, they've never ever treated me differently.
huh.
So now, if they treat me differently, I almost feel like it's like a mom figure. And a lot of the times, I swear, the people that I get paired with, it's like, this is my first
Oh,
game.
you're talking really young.
Oh yeah,
Okay,
I
okay.
mean like little
I'm
kids.
thinking like 12 years old,
Well, they
you
can
know.
still be that way, but I feel like a lot of them, they have to like, I feel like their parents are probably in the room when they're
Yeah.
that young. And if they said something like that to me,
Yeah.
their daddy would smack in the back of the head or their mama
Hopefully.
would. Right. I hope so.
Yeah.
But I feel like the universe just pairs me with like those. I literally had this kid who was like, I'm 5 years old. I didn't have to go to school today. And I was like, oh no. And the other like two guys that were on my team were like, shit. And I was like, okay. So I literally I babysat the entire game and like helped him out. Okay, let's come over here. Like, no, we don't want to ride that because that makes too much noise. Like, and the other guys are just like powering ahead. They're like,
Yeah.
nope, we're gonna let her deal with it.
It's duos at that point for them.
It was basically duos, yeah.
So, okay, so of the older crowd then,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I guess that's where you hear most of the negative.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing about that I kind of want to touch on. I feel like there's a lot more gamer girls now
Mm-hmm.
than there ever has been.
I read a statistic. I haven't fact checked it, but I read that there's like 47%, like in gamers, 47% are women.
That's so
So
hard for me to believe.
maybe now, I think from where you came from, maybe, but not to me. Like, I like games. I've always enjoyed games. The reason why I've
What are
never
they
played
calling a
them.
gamer? Like what kinds of games? If you're talking about like cell phone games, I don't want to count
No,
that
I
at all.
don't.
I'm
I don't
talking about
think.
PC and console gaming.
Yeah, I think that at least a lot of the PC or a lot of the girls that I know who game are PC gamers. They really like MMOs.
That's true.
Mhm.
That is true. I know it sounds probably a little bit stereotypical, but The Sims, The Sims
Uh,
seems to be a famous, fun game for women.
Not for me, man.
Uh, I don't like it either, but when I've noticed that it seems to be a trend, at least what I see on Twitter and stuff. A
Mhm.
lot of girls like to play Sims. Our kids, Katie, she loves to play The Sims.
Mhm.
So it's just one of those. It's a passive game where you kind of build things and
Right.
manage your characters and stuff. And I think that's kind of
I can see
interesting.
how it could be a kid thing, but for me, I already have to wash dishes and go to work and
True.
do all that stuff
True.
that
Yeah.
I'm wanting to
But
decompress.
so okay, you like to play the
Mm,
adrenaline
I
rushing
do.
multiplayer games, and I know there's a lot of girls that like to play that. But
Right.
do you feel like maybe there would be more girls playing it if it wasn't so intimidating with the atmosphere that's created with these guys that you are describing?
Maybe I could see that, yeah. I I've always been I've always hung out with the guys. Like, so for me, I'm comfortable with it and I feel like being extroverted and like, I feel like I can kind of hold my own. It's not as intimidating for me because I have no problems telling someone to back off.
Right.
It is uncomfortable. I'm not going to say that I'm just like always like, yeah, just no, screw you.
So you're saying it's all in your personality and
I
knowing
do.
how to handle
I think
it.
it is. Yeah.
Whereas where you could see where maybe other girls who are
Mhm.
more introverted or something or
Mhm.
different
Or
personality
I could
type.
even see a lot of women are very creative, and I'm not trying to generalize, but it's also like I also see a lot of girl gamers into very fantasy type stuff. it's very creative, and there's all of these characters, and there's all this like room, and not just because you're a girl gamer doesn't mean you cosplay, but there is this room for like cosplay, and there's just, I feel like that's where I've seen other of my friends who are gamers heading, is very much towards the fantasy side. And I've always been this way. I'm like, if we go out on a date, I would rather go see an action movie than a romance
Romantic,
movie.
yeah, that's true.
Like that's just how I am.
So I guess there's just not. I don't think there's as many people who are like, or girls who are like you.
No.
Just based upon,
you're lucky.
Yeah, well, also based upon our own kids. I mean,
yeah,
we have 3 girls, and one of them really doesn't play games much at all, except for Pokemon.
I was gonna say she likes Pokemon.
But 2 of them love to play Fortnite.
Yep.
And they're pretty like heavily involved with Fortnite, but they also like to play non-multiplayer games quite a bit. I think as far as multiplayer games, they stick to Fortnite and Roblox.
Right.
Other than that, they're playing Undertale.
Right.
You know, I can't think of any others, but a lot of different PC games or single player games that you would play. And even when they're playing something like Fortnite, I don't feel like they're getting super competitive with it.
I feel like video games for me is the one place that I'm competitive.
Yeah.
I'm not really that competitive, like at anything except for when it comes to games. It's like, I feel like it's a proper outlet. Not that sports aren't, I'm just not a sporty person.
Yeah.
My body breaks too often, so I don't play sports. So for me, the video game is like the proper outlet for being competitive.
Yeah.
And
now there are competitive girl gamers, and I see them a lot on Twitch, and they play games like Blackout.
If I wasn't, and now here's another thing, and this is just a choice of mine. If I wasn't married, or not even that, you're a gamer, so it might work. If I didn't have kids and other responsibilities, like we kind of go back and forth on, you know, if the kids are asleep, you know, when should we play games? But honestly, like if I could be a competitive gamer if I had more time, and but I feel like I don't want to miss that part for my kids.
And honestly though, it requires so much time to be.
It would have to be my job, and I love what I do.
And a lot of these girls, or a lot of people on Twitch in general, who are getting, you know, big followings and a lot of people watching, they do have that time to invest.
And that's what their job is, and that's
cool. For a lot of them, yeah, it does become a job. You know, if you start making money doing it, then you can just.
I think it'd be, you know what, it would be so fun to be a paid gamer. It really
think
would.
So? You
maybe,
think so?
I guess if it was, maybe it takes away some of the.
I think gaming would lose its luster for me. Like I would get sick of it.
I could see that.
I would, if you had to do it and you were paid to do it, it no longer becomes a hobby. It becomes a job.
Right.
And
you losing means so much more.
On days where you don't feel like playing a game and you still have to play because you've got an audience out there that expects it.
I could see that.
That it becomes a job at that point. And you know, I would grow. I think I would grow a little bit of resentment towards it, and probably not like it as much, because there are so many other things that I still like to do. Like if I invested all of my time into gaming, I would have to be making a substantial amount of money to justify it for me, because to me that's a hobby. It always is. It always will be a hobby. It's something I do for fun. Something I do to, like I said earlier, decompress.
Right.
You know, all the other things that I do. You know, my job as a graphic designer, like that. When I do graphic design away from work, but not as much. You know, it's like when I'm done, I'm done. Like I don't want to do it anymore. So
I could see that.
I would have that. It would ruin the fun of games for me.
Yeah, I could see that.
But that kind of got off topic of where I wanted to go with that. Where I'm seeing like a lot of female gamers on Twitch playing these multiplayer games and stuff. There's been a real kind of backlash with, I would say, these immature guys that you encounter on your games.
Yeah.
Saying that, you know, the girls are coming in to steal their thunder because all they do.
I'm rolling my eyes and shaking my head for those who can't see.
All they do is come in and, you know, dress seductively and, you know, talk to the camera, and they're preying on these immature kids. They're basically boys, kids, or whatever, you know, preying on them to give them money to show their body.
I
I'm not saying this is my opinion. I'm
No, I
telling
know.
you this is what a lot of people are, or a
I
lot of
think
people are
that's
backlashing
the
against girls
biggest bunch
gamers.
of crap. It really is. First off, um, they have created this culture of how they're treating women in games anyway. Like this, it's just been this fostered thing. And then I think that any person, like if a woman gets into it, it doesn't matter how a woman would dress. I think that if a woman is being successful and having fun and getting all of these followers, that there are some, not everybody, but there are some people out there who they just can't fathom it. Like, how can this female, like, she's just taking advantage. It wouldn't matter how anybody dressed.
Well, okay. There are people that are like that, but there are a lot of girls on there who do prey on that. I'm not saying there are girls who get on there who will wear like very low cut, like stuff that's sexualized.
So when I was a waitress,
I'm not saying that they wear it because it's comfortable or what they prefer to wear. They're doing it for the money, for the views.
When I was a waitress, I was not a waitress for very long.
Right.
You had to, like, this was your job. Like, if they're Twitch streaming, this is what they do. In a way, it's kind of like a job in your persona. And when I was a waitress, like, you got better tips, like, and it sucks. Like you would like to be able to do your job just normal, but you get more tips if you flirt a little or if you are prettier. Like, I mean, it's very shallow, but that's what happens.
No, and I agree
it's
with
just
that.
one of those things, like, a guy doesn't have to do that.
Right.
And it's just like, it wouldn't matter what she wears. And you know what? If she's going to make more money, like, then it's those idiots' fault for shelling out the monies because they see a little bit of booby crack.
Sure, I get that. But what about, like, for people, for girls who want to, legitimately get out there and they're actually really good at the game or whatever?
I don't think it hinders any other girl who's playing.
I think the stigma that all these immature boys have, and they say, oh, you're just a dumb girl who's playing games. I feel like when you have girls who are just sexualizing it for the money, let's say, and there are some like that. So that's who I'm talking about.
Which I also don't have a problem with.
Right. But when they do this, I feel like those are the ones that get propelled into the spotlight and get all the fame and glory that comes from being a Twitch streamer or whatever the case may be. They create this stereotype that all girls are that way, and they're not helping the matter.
I think that what happens is that they do just get pushed into the light. Now, let's look at, like, how I've played, or any of the girls that you've seen. Like, there are plenty of girls who just play Twitch, are doing their stream on Twitch and just playing.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what we do. There is always going to be that disgusting person who's going to say things. It just doesn't matter.
I understand that that's not going to go away, but I'm saying, like, the things that you dread hearing as soon as you open your mouth while playing a multiplayer game, that some other girls may have that same type of dread, but they just don't know how to properly handle it like you do.
Right. Well, and that's why I think that they don't play games. Maybe they won't play games on the platform that I do. But the thing is, I don't think, like, I don't, at least in the near future, foresee it not being to where girls are kind of looked at as being the dumb gamer girls, or you're just a big bunch of boobs. Like, when they play, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, your voice sounds hot.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What does that even mean?
Like they think
hey, think boys. Like, that's not how I play.
Like, they're gonna get laid from some lady girl that they found.
Where are we gonna drop?
Oh,
like, like, I don't get it.
That absolutely drives me insane. Like,
right?
I don't understand the mentality of these kids that are playing. Like, and I'm gonna call them kids because most of them are.
Right.
And I was never that way, so I really can't comprehend that.
I was lucky with that.
Huh?
Said I was lucky with that. That's what I liked about you, though.
But I mean, I can't fathom or comprehend why somebody would act that way or treat somebody that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. I've never. A woman
could wear a complete, like, potato sack over her, and she would still get treated that way. the reason why she's not propelled at the very, very top is because she's not showing her cleavage. Like if
Right.
that, unfortunately, it's not an even playing field. And in order for maybe a woman, and this is conjecture. Like I don't want people, this is conjecture. Maybe for a woman in this atmosphere right now, she has to like, if she knows that's what's going to make it more, give her more money, then it's like, that's how it is. Like, it doesn't matter how I play or how innocuous or how wifely or motherly I sound, like I'm gonna get sexual advances or sexual comments or whatever. It's just, that's just how it is. And it sucks. Like I don't want it to be that way. I'm not necessarily saying that that's a good thing. It's just like, that's how it is. And I feel like if people, if her, again, showing some booby crack is going to get her $5 extra because the
Booby
idiot
crack?
booby crack, if it's going to get her $5 extra because that dumb kid who just played with me online, who was like, hey baby, what's up? Then I'm like, girl, all power to you. Take all of his money.
I guess I can see that.
Take his money. If they're stupid enough to keep doing it, then like,
if he's stupid enough to pay you for it, then whatever.
Because the people who like, and I'm sure I know there's girl gamers out there who are well known and who don't have to do that.
There's plenty of them.
Right.
I'm not saying that all of them are that way. I just know that there are some out there. And actually when I get on Twitch, I've watched several girl gamers who are legitimately very good at competitive multiplayer games, just like you are. I mean,
No, I'm not that good.
Well,
I'd love to be, but I don't have the time.
You're good enough. You're better than me at sometimes.
I feel like I'm getting better.
Yeah. So, I mean, there are some girls that are really good, but then they are often buried by the mounds of other girls who are literally just on there to.
But I kind of look at it as
sex,
the people who are like serious gamers and who are in that community. I'm not in that community. I'm just in my little town home here. But I imagine like it's in any other community. Like when I was doing my work, and that was a big community. Like we all knew each other. We all knew who the like. Not the legitimate people were, but we knew who the really talented people were. We knew all of that stuff within our community and within the gaming community. I'm sure that those people just know which gamer girls, like they can respect that, I hope.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's just like we're in YouTube, reality, and YouTube is big and crazy and stupid, and we're going to jump in a pool full of Orbeez. It's like that's the type of stuff that people are growing up with, and that's just the atmosphere that it is. And within the actual community, competitive community, I imagine that they know who the legitimate people are, and they're respected. So it's just like there's that two different aspects. There's that community who knows, and then the YouTube kids who think it's hot to see a girl play a video game.
But don't you feel like well, I mean, okay. I see what you're saying, but I also feel like if we want to try to legitimize, or not legitimize, what's the word I'm looking for?
Legitimize.
Get rid of, like, let's get rid of this kind of stereotype or stigma or way of thinking in young men in general, and young boys.
That's a whole nother conversation.
I know it's a whole new conversation. It really is. And this kind of, speaks to more than just video games, but I don't like it. And it's something that I feel like needs to change.
Right.
Not just in gaming, but in general.
Because we have a son, and you also have,
I have
daughters.
I have 3 daughters.
And the thought of someone treating them like that.
The thought of them being treated, in a sexual way by anybody.
Lowering them just because they're female. The standards, yeah.
Even though I know that
that doesn't just happen on video games, though.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about just
right.
It goes beyond video games.
It does.
But it just.
It does. I know.
Makes me wanna put a fist into somebody if they do that to my kids.
I think that you've always been that way, though. That type, like, that was something that I really always liked about you, is you've never treated me like I was a girl. Like, and I am a girl. Like, I was just like, I've always been your partner who was a girl,
I believe in equals. Like, nobody is better than anybody else.
Right.
I firmly believe that. And, that the way that people do that or think with the wrong head, basically, it drives me crazy. Like, it just, that is not the way to treat women. And it's not and it's coming through in gaming, and I feel like they need to, be more
Be
open
better
to,
is what you're
yeah, be
saying.
better.
Be better, people.
Like, I feel like we could have a more diverse online
Mhm.
community if we had more women included, and I wish
Mhm.
there were more girl gamers
Right.
who enjoyed
It
gaming
makes
like
me
you.
excited that some of my girls are, because in my like hippie, hopeful, feminist kind of way, I'm like, be
I
that person who like.
Well, and I support, like, the girls are playing Fortnite, and I'm
Mhm.
okay with that. I actually go over there and try to figure out what they're doing and what is the new costume or dance they're trying to
Right.
get, and they'll tell me about how well they did in this match and
And they
everything.
get good. Oh, I'm getting good at building.
And
It's
I'm
cute.
supportive of it because I want them to be kind of like the next step in the
Mhm.
leadership of women taking charge. I feel like there's already kind of a movement going on right now.
Within the gaming community.
Right.
Good.
But I feel like it's going to get even stronger, and it takes parents like us, who can
Right.
help raise our kids to have a different
Right.
mindset. My and our son, making sure that he has the mindset of not treating women that way, and
Right.
an open mindset, which he already does. Absolutely, he
Right.
already does. I feel like he's already leaps and bounds different than most other.
Yeah, my 5-year-old is more respectful than the
Yeah,
people I play
definitely,
with.
he really
Yeah.
is. And I think kudos to us for
Yeah. Woohoo.
pushing that, but I also feel like, if we can help in any way whatsoever, like getting the other people to
Right.
try to be the same way. I don't know. I just like to see a more positive outlook
I
on.
wish I knew what it would take too, because
I feel like gaming as a whole.
how do you think people would react if when somebody says, "Hey baby, what's up?" And I was like, "Screw
I
you,
thi-
man. Why would you treat me that way just cuz I'm a woman?" Like, how would that, like, there's also this fine line as a woman, because if I do
agree with
that,
that. You're right.
then
You're
I'm
right.
bitchy, or oh my god, she's probably PMSing,
All
you
you're
know?
yeah, all you're doing at that point is you're fueling the fire of this
Right.
negativity that this person is
Exactly.
already
And
spewing
perpetuating
out.
this idea in their head. So it's
Right.
like, it's really difficult. Like, that's what I'm saying right
Yeah, and that's
now.
why I think you handle it best. I mean, like you said before, somebody starts that, you go, "Where are we landing?"
Yep.
You just kind of stop it right there and dead in its
Where are we going?
tracks.
Yep.
And does that usually help, you think?
I do. If I just ignore it, or sometimes I'm like, yeah, like, okay.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm bringing it back in focus. All right, where are we going? Hey, I see this. Hey, I found a backpack over here. Like,
That's such a good way to put it. You're bringing the focus back.
let's
Like,
go back this way.
forget that I had boobs for a second. We're playing a damn game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
A lot of times I can get them to come back.
Yeah.
But it's like half the game. And by that time, I'm tired of babysitting your ass. And I'm like, maybe the next round. But again, that's why the people I've played with, like, I've got my set group now and I enjoy it. Like, I get on and can message people,
Right.
and it is nice. And sometimes I hate when I get on and I see all my normal people are like full party and I'm like, I guess I'll go play quads by myself, because there's always that roll
So
of the
you've
dice.
already gotten past that initial, hey, I'm gonna play quads with randos until I find some
Yeah.
people that I can play with.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
But that's
that.
why I will. I mean, I message Brody and I message you.
Right. And it's, to me, it's weird. Like, I could never imagine getting online and having to have that fear that you have with getting online, or that anxiety, I guess.
If I've had a bad day, then even though I wish I could play the game and decompress,
Yeah.
it's more fun for me to play multiplayer, or like with people. I just won't play because I'm like, I don't have.
You don't have the
wanna
energy
deal
to
with
deal
it.
with
Yeah, I
it.
don't.
Yeah, you're right. I
Yeah.
get that. So, yeah, I guess that's really all the questions I have. Is there anything you want to add on that topic or anything?
I don't think so. Oh, I'm also playing Apex a little bit. Just
Okay.
throw that
Yeah,
in there.
actually, I wanted to get into, your thoughts on
Mhm.
Blackout and what you like about it and stuff, and we can lead into Apex a little bit. So
Yeah.
tell me about your play style, I guess.
So my play style, I don't know if it would be considered.
Actually, describe Blackout for people who may not
Okay,
have played it.
so Blackout is I like to play quads. So that means there's a team of 4 and you're playing against all these other teams of 4. I think usually there's like 100 people, so there's
Right.
like 25 teams.
Right.
And it's you battle until the very last team is like you've gotten everybody out. And so
It's the last man standing.
last man standing, last team standing. and you have a loading area where you wait for everybody, which is just like all games that are like this. And then you are put on a plane, and it, like, at that point when you're on the plane, you're supposed to be communicating with your team. Like, where are we dropping? What are we doing? And you, if you are with a good team, you will make a decision as a team together, and you go there and you work as a team. That's what I like. Like, I hate playing with people who, I don't understand why you're playing quads and you like go
running
the
off by
opposite
yourself.
direction.
Yeah.
And then there's the only person standing because you weren't there to help us out.
Yeah.
Like, go play solo if that's how it's going to be.
Well, when you're playing, and when you're playing teams, when you drop down, you guys kind of have to work together. And when you're finding guns and stuff, usually you'll figure out who's better with what type of gun.
Right. And I like that. Like, I'm not the best at sniping because I don't want to. Like, I like to just spray, not spray and pray almost.
Yeah.
I've gotten better. My original was just spray and pray and just hope that it hit something. But I really prefer, I really like being a cover type person. I really like partnering with someone and then who is either really good at sniping or likes to be more aggressive. And I like to cover them so that they can complete the things that they do. Or I'm really great at reviving people. I love being that person. Like, because I will notice that you will get in those teams where they're shooting and somebody goes down. Everybody else doesn't care at all, and they just go on. And I'm like, no, it's as a team. And so I tend to stick back, not because I'm not good, not because I'm not I'm scared and not an aggressive enough player. It's because I really like getting the team together. So that's just kind of my style.
So it's nice to be able to, find guns or sniper scopes, or somebody needs a backpack, but it's also funny because when you play, you've got some catchphrases.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, funny.
So
I don't even know this. Please tell me.
Yeah, you do. I've told you before. When I'm out in the living room, usually she'll be back in the bedroom playing the game, and I can hear her.
I do the growl.
She growls. She goes, ah, ah, ah.
That's my frustrated.
Or fuck. That's your other fuck. And it's always, where are you landing? Where are you landing? And where are we landing? Or it's fuck. I don't know.
Weren't you and the kids all making fun of me?
You do it like so much. Like I hardly ever hear you like excited. Yes. Oh. It's always fuck. Not yes, we did it. Yeah. It's always negative, not positive.
I notice, and this just probably talks to how my playing is, like how I'm not as good as people, but I feel like I die before everybody else every time. Yeah. And I always feel like it's because sometimes I'm the only team player, and I'm like, where y'all go? What the hell are you doing? Why aren't you here? Yeah.
It's so, like, even when we're playing with a team, it's so hard to, they don't communicate like you do. Like, you're a very good communicator.
I am a girl, and I am very verbal, so.
You're a great communicator, and the problem that I find a lot of times when playing online, even with you, we'll get with somebody who just, they'll start running off. Brody does this.
Oh
He'll start running off in a direction and not tell anybody about it.
I try not to get frustrated at him.
He'll get into a firefight with somebody and not say anything.
Yes.
It's like, how am I supposed to help you when you're 2 buildings away from me and you're getting in a firefight and you're not saying a damn thing about it?
Right.
It's, I guess it depends on your mood.
My favorite is we're getting shot at. I won't say people's names, but it rhymes with Odie. Just runs off and leaves me. And I am being like gangbanged by 3 people at once, and his ass left me. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's not just Brody. I've had this encounter with a lot of different people that we play with. But
because I'm going in, I'm like, we're going to be a team. We're going to work to, where the hell do we go? Like, and I'm standing out in the open by myself.
It reminds me of like, well, it's not, I don't think it's this bad, but back in the Halo 2 days, Joel was that renegade. Oh,
yes, he was.
Lone wolf. We'd play a single player game, and he amazed the heck out of me. He would always kind of just do his own thing and not play as a team
the entire time.
Yeah. But he would also get a ton of kills, and he would never get. Well, he would also get a ton of deaths too. So because he wasn't playing as a team with us, it really didn't help us. Like, yeah, you can get a bunch of kills, but if you're getting as many deaths or more deaths, then it's
Right.
really not helping. But again, I'm getting off topic. Tell me again, like, there's so many battle royale type games. There's Fortnite, there's PUBG, there's now Call of Duty, now Apex, which you just started recently playing.
Right.
Why Blackout? Why was that one the one to be the one you play?
You know, I feel like, okay, so PUBG was mobile and it was just taking up all the internet on my phone.
Right.
And you know, honestly, we
have Ryan to thank for that.
Yeah,
one.
thanks a lot, Ryan. No. It also made it too easy because sometimes like you can just get sucked up into a game and just being anywhere. I don't know, it just made it too easy. What I don't like about Fortnite is I don't like the building aspect. I like watching people do it, and I think it's a cool thing. I don't know.
It adds a layer of complication.
It does. I think it would annoy me because I am getting better and more skilled at aiming, but I'd be like, no.
So when you're concentrating on aiming at somebody, and then they start building things around them, and you're like, oh, it kind of defeats the purpose of getting better. Because then not only do you have to learn how to aim, you have to know how to build at the same time, which is, I've done it. I've played Fortnite, and that is pretty much the only reason.
If I played Fortnite, I would probably never build, and I would just play it like I played.
It's that to me is not an aspect of the game that I enjoy.
Right.
I enjoy the being dropped in, and everybody is at a kind of, I feel like at an even playing field or skill level. Like, you don't have to know how to do this extra layer. All you have to do is know how to aim and get lucky with what you pick up.
Is PUBG a console game at all?
It is, yes, it is now. It started off as PC only.
So.
But even PUBG, I think, because it was a PC game when I was playing it, and when you were...
I played that a couple of times with Max, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, you and Max played. But
I tried getting him to play, but he was working all the time, so that kind of slowed me down.
But, I mean, playing on the PC was probably also a deterrent for you because...
Yeah, it is.
That's something you're not used
kind of
to.
a stickler. Like, I'm kind of like, it's like the reason why I won't get a Mac is because I'm used to PC and I don't want to change things.
Yeah.
And I played Halo 2 and I can get those controllers. Like I played, you know, so that is easy to me. There's not a huge learning curve. So that's why I prefer console gaming.
And so I guess when Blackout came out, that's already in the style of game that you're used to with, you know, with Call of Duty. That's similar to the Halo style, I guess, with the controller.
Yeah,
so I can see how that would be easier to pick up and play.
I also like Overwatch. It's not really a battle royale.
Overwatch is a good game. Yeah, no, that's another multiplayer competitive game.
But it's multiplayer. And what I really like about Overwatch is I feel like people are way more team because there's a lot of times like you have to get something from point A to point B.
Right.
There's a lot more opportunities for it to be an actual collaborative team play.
You feel that game is really good at rewarding people for, even if you're not the best shot, even if you just get a few hits on somebody and you know, you take them down as a team, you'll still get counted for the kill.
Right.
Or if you just want to be a healer or a support character, you can do that as well.
And that's what I like. Like in Overwatch, I always liked being Lucario because I was a healer.
Yeah.
That's what I enjoy doing on Apex. But I play with people who usually play as Lifeline. So I haven't played as the healer as much.
So tell me about Apex. I mean, I've played a few games, but you probably played more than me.
I played a little bit more. It's very similar to, well, I mean, it's a battle royale, so you have teams, but what's interesting to me is there's only 3 members on a team instead of like up to 4.
I don't like that. Like, I like the 4
I do too. But you know, it's been kind of interesting playing this way. I feel like it makes it a little bit harder because when you have 4, if you have people who are good at healing and doing this stuff, it makes it you can last a lot longer. So I feel like there's a lot more skill involved.
So it's class based versus everybody being just the same.
Yes, yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. And I'm still learning all of the classes. I've played as Lifeline and I've played as Bangalore, and that's kind of who I've stuck with. What I like about Bangalore is when she's taking hits, she speeds up and can run faster.
So you can get away.
Which is good for me because especially since I'm learning this game, it makes it to where I can get away and, you know, turn around and do what I need to do. So I do like that.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess when I was playing Apex, I just played with random people. And I did enjoy the class-based system, but I felt like, oh man, I gotta learn a new game, and I
Right.
didn't really want to learn the ins and outs. And
Right.
I feel like Blackout had an advantage in that
Mhm.
if you've played Call of Duty and you understand what a
Right.
battle royale game
Right.
is,
That is kind
the
of the
learning
beauty of
curve is
it.
very, very
It's
small.
just there is no class, so it's just really easy. I
It
do
is really
think I
easy.
mean, in a way, it's
That's what
funny.
attracts me to it, though.
Mhm.
That's
Well,
what I
it's
like about
yeah,
it.
it's just simple. You wanna get on, you wanna play, you just get in
Right.
and do
I don't want to
it.
think about it too much.
Right.
I feel like with Apex, I've got. Well, this comes down to just not playing it enough. I don't understand all the classes and their
Right. And I
abilities and
mean, I
things.
think what on Call of Duty in multiplayer though, you can have different classes that do different things. I just don't play multiplayer enough.
And multiplayer Call of Duty
Mhm.
is a lot of fun too. I like to play that.
Yeah.
But uh, also with Apex, like the pickups, I don't understand. I don't understand like the attachments and how they work.
I'm still learning that. Yeah. What I do like about Apex is that things are color coded. So
Yeah.
even though I'm still learning, I know that if this gun was purple, that I'm just looking for purple
And I
bullets.
understand the colors because that's kind of a universal thing amongst games like that.
Right.
But when I pick up a gun, I don't know what gun is better than what, and I don't know what attachments fit or even what an attachment is or how to
Right.
use it.
That's what's
I don't
happening with
understand what
Raz.
ammo
Yeah.
I'm supposed to pick up. There's a lot of different things like I don't get. Whereas with Blackout,
Hmm.
everything you pick up is like, okay, I know that's a pistol, I know that's a rifle, I know that's a sniper, I
Right.
know that's a shotgun.
Right.
The hardest part about that was knowing what ammo goes with what gun.
Right.
But once you figure that out, it was pretty easy. Also,
Hmm.
I would just pick up all the ammo anyway and just hope
Well,
that it was
but
what I
that's what in
needed.
Apex, like in Call of Duty, you pick up all the bullets until you are filled up,
Yeah,
right?
and it doesn't
matter.
count
You
against you in
can't
your
do that
inventory.
in Apex, yeah, because it counts against you in your inventory. So
Yeah.
you really have to, I feel like Apex is almost like not an advance, but there's more aspects. It's almost like the adult version of Fortnite. Fortnite has the added thing of building, whereas in Apex, for me, it's like I have the class and you have to really do kind of the research on the weapons and how you want to do things.
Right.
And if you like it, like I do,
Didn't you
like
get a win already?
yeah, but I was playing with Raz and Zombie Killer, and they're both really good at it and play all the time. So I kind of
Well,
get to piggyback off of them.
that's fine. It's
Well, but
still a
it
win.
also and the cool thing about these guys that I play with are these are the guys that I'm telling you that I enjoy playing with. I'm just one of the people they play
Yeah,
with.
they don't treat you
They
like.
don't. And Raz, well, and Zombie Killer are both really good at I don't know their names, so that's why they get to go by that.
Communication.
Communication.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're really great at communicating and being really nice. Like they know I haven't played that much. And I'll be like, is this gun good? Or should I do this?
That's what I
And
feel
they-
like I need. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to learn it myself. I want somebody to tell me. Like, I want.
Right.
That's what I need with Apex. I feel like I could play more Apex if I had that.
Right.
But as it stands now,
As I get
like,
better, I'll teach you.
there you go. That's fine with me. As it stands right now, like I haven't had like a big need to want to play a multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Except for whenever Brody.
I do
or
kind of
Bill
like
or
the
somebody's on,
aspect that, like the lead killer or whatever, like that's who.
is shown on the billboards.
Yes, and
That is
everybody
cool.
wants to get that person.
That's-
Like someday I want to be the
Yeah.
Apex.
Do you feel like Apex is gonna overtake your Blackout? I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. No.
Like right now, like if you're gonna sit down and play a game, it's gonna be Blackout.
Right.
But I feel like that's your game. Like
Mhm.
for somebody who hasn't played video games since Halo,
Yeah. How many years would that be?
like I said, it's like 15 years. I mean, that's back in 2004.
Well, the reason though is because the games that you do are usually one-player games that I sit and watch. So I didn't really have an
And I'm
opportunity
missing
to
that.
play.
You've
Oh,
missed me.
you
You've missed me play Resident Evil 2.
Aw.
You've missed me play Kingdom Hearts. You've missed me play like most of Devil May Cry 5. I miss my
Aw.
gaming buddy. I can't help but feel
You
a
mean
little
your
bit
gaming
jealous.
cheerleader?
Yeah, I mean it's
Well,
kind of
workout balance. That's what relationships are all about. I'll play and you play.
it's yeah, in a way, and we've had our arguments about this. It is a little bit. It does make me a little bit jealous that you're
Do you
playing
feel like
games.
I'm choosing those boys over you?
It's not the boys, it's the game. It's
Okay,
like
good.
you were choosing.
It's
That is
true.
that
I was
is
gonna say it's definitely not
it's the
boys.
game. Like, yeah, you've chosen that game over playing or watching me play.
Because it's
and
safe for me to sit on the couch and watch you.
It also feels like... What?
It's like safe for me. Like, I'm sitting next to you watching.
Well, to me, like when we spend time together, that's how it's always been. And so that's how I associate it.
It's true. It is.
And it's just a change. That's all it is. It's just different.
And I get jealous that you don't play the game with me.
Well, even then, like, I wish we could set up like a dual TV so we could play in the same room. Because as it stands right now,
that's true. I really
we're in opposite ends of the house. Which
we'll have our own LAN party.
I'm fine with that. Like, it's kind of fun. Like, if you're sitting next to me, we can, just talk to each other versus using the headphones. But whenever I'm playing online with you and I'm in the other room, it doesn't even feel like you're in the same house with me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, not to me. Like, I just hear you through the headset.
I love knowing that you're playing the game, and I love knowing that you're just down the hallway playing the game with me. So
yeah, it just feels like I'm playing multiplayer, and that might just come from playing games like that for ever, for years.
Well, I guess we need to figure out how to put another TV in the living room.
We don't have room for it. Maybe someday move in a bigger house. Well, I think that's gonna wrap things up, Amy. I really appreciate you talking to me about this and informing us.
It's fun. It was fun. We started the conversation in the car, and you were like, "Stop."
Yep. No more.
Let's talk about it.
This is good podcasting material. So anyway, thanks again. If you guys enjoyed the show, please leave us a thumbs up or 5-star ratings or whatever it is, and like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTubes.
Yeah.
But we're on YouTube and wherever you can find podcasts, obviously, if you're listening to the show now. And we are on social media, Twitter at JABGcast, JABCAS. No, I said that wrong. JABGCAST. And it's the same handle on Instagram. We're also on Facebook. That's it. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time for a regular edition of Just a Big Gaming.